But yeah, guys, listen, biggest storyline that came out of the Buffalo Bills side of things, at least. Jimbo James Cook ultimately ended up signing a 4-year extension, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you what, we were discussing this. Finally ended up getting the specifics of said contract on Spot Track. I feel like we could take a gander at this bad boy. And maybe Bills fans didn't even see this, but this is what it looks like. 2025, his base salary went down to $1.2 million. His cap hit went down about $2 million. So only 3.5 mil. We ended up adding $1.5 million into Buffalo's potential spend. As many of us know, we were flirting with zero, which was a massive problem. So we saw at least some sort of cap relief in the short term. Followed by this. This is where the cap hits start to get interesting. 3.5 next year. 5.8 the following, and then in 2027 you have 13 million. In 2028 you have 13 million. But as I suspected, if for example Buffalo would like to walk away and create some sort of cap relief and or add some additional funds, because I believe at this point in 2027 he'll be 28 and then 29 in 2028. If for example that Buffalo wanted to walk away, they could save a whopping $5.5 million in a trade and or only add about $8 million in dead cap if that was the case. Obviously, say, for example, we were to trade him, it's got to be pretty tough for me to find an excuse to trade a running back that's at that age. I'd say with any sort of positive cap implication, but that is it. Jimbo Cook is now locked in, and for the next 5 years at least. TD, thoughts on the James Cook contract? Talk to me.
Jimbo Cook. I don't know where Jimbo comes from. You have to educate
Jimbo.
me on that. The Bills get their guy. I knew it would happen eventually. Like I said the other day, he was holding out, but he showed good faith by coming in, and they worked it out. He got paid, man. $30 million guaranteed. That guarantees 2.5 years of his contract. That's what that does, and that's a good look for Cook. He earned it. And I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't have paid more than $9 million. But hey, with a team that's trying to get over the hump and go to the Super Bowl, I get it. You just want to keep the nucleus together and try to go on that drive for it all now. Even though it won't work, but still, you got to make that move for Cook. Y'all get your guy. Josh Allen's happy about it, and hey, let's see what it turns out to be this year.
Richie, thoughts on the James Cook contract extension now that you've seen all the specifics?
It's a great deal. Like I said, I feel like you went about this the right way. I've been very consistent with my take on this situation. I think James Cook made a mistake early where he went public and said, I'm a $15 million per year guy. And that kind of just made the whole situation a little dicey, right? And I know you can't really look at AAV for everything, but I think that at the end of the day, him getting 12 and getting all that guaranteed money, everybody's happy. He held it in and he showed up to practice when he needed to. He's a professional. I feel like the way he handled this could have been way uglier, but he didn't. We've seen worse. We've seen way worse contract situations that got ugly, got south. I think the Buffalo Bills handled this with professionalism. They were patient and they got the deal done, and that's all that matters. The fact that it's done now, it's refreshing, right? Let's not forget what the Jets had to deal with. Hassan Reddick, that went through the season where we're like, oh, will he show up next week? Nope. Will he show up maybe this next game? When we're like, terrible. I mean, what a disaster that was. So you should be very thankful for your Bills fan this did not carry into the season, because that's where it gets ugly.
So he actually ended up sitting down with the media today, right after his contract extension, and he mentioned that he would continue to sit out until something got done, but he said that there's no need to talk about that anymore because something did get done. And I guess we did get an answer as into why he practiced for the first 8 weeks and then decided to hold in. It was more so that he wanted to prove to his teammates that he wants to be a Buffalo Bill. He wants to be there for him. But what he had to do is just make sure that he could take care of his own and make sure that he could be at least locked in and have some sort of insurance policy for the foreseeable future. I'm glad that it's over. Colby, thoughts? James Cook, extension.
The other day on 4th and Forever, we talked about kind of the situation of him returning to practice and what did this mean? And I said that I believed that this was a sign of good faith on James Cook's side of things, because you can't fight petty with petty. Someone has to step in. Someone has to be the mature guy. Someone has to say, look, let's figure things out. Let's talk. It's kind of like when you and your girlfriend get into a big fight, but you know that you're the one who isn't necessarily in the wrong, but you're like, I know she's not going to say something, so I got to be the one that shows the sign of good faith. And I think that's what James Cook did. I think it went a long way in getting this contract done. And at the end of the day, the Buffalo Bills are a different team when they have a run game, because it opens up the offense significantly, and they don't have the receiving receiving core to make up for a lack of running game. And James Cook has allowed these wide receivers to be opened up past their limitations. I mean, we talk about Josh Allen putting that Buffalo Bills offense past their limitations, but James Cook and what he does on the ground has also allowed them to be a multi-dimensional offense. I mean, 1,000 yards last year, 1,000 yards in 2023. He averaged 4.9 yards per carry last year and 16 touchdowns. This is a guy that if you want to try to get to the Super Bowl and replicate what you did last year offensively, he's a massive piece to that. So as obviously a team in the AFC East, I don't love it at all. But unbiasedly, when talking about the Buffalo Bills' success, this is a brilliant move. This is something you needed. And now Bills fans can kind of have this sigh of relief a little bit.